Part two of question two in your homework asks us to calculate relative frequency. So relative frequency tells you what portion or percentage of the data falls into a category. So here it looks like they want us to round to 4 decimal places. So let's see if we can make this work out here. So if it does go out to 4 decimal places, then we don't have to round. So notice how it says round to 4 decimal places as needed. So again, these portions are going to actually be in decimal form because it could be a fraction, decimal, or percentage. So we're trying to figure out what percentage of the data falls into each category. So to calculate relative frequency, we have the frequency of each category divided by the total number of observations altogether. So if I want to do the relative frequency for potholes that with one pothole, notice how 11 sections had one pothole out of 35. So what I could do is put in 11 divided by 35 here. And what I can do is quit the data here. So quit is above mode. So see where my mouse is. There's this blue quit up here. So if I hit second, hit the mode, it'll quit. So I could type in 11 divided by 35 and get that. So notice how we have to actually round that to 4 decimal places. So it's going to be 0.314. But notice how that 8 is going to make this 2 turn into a 3. So 0.3143. So you actually got to look at 5 decimal places to round 4 decimal places. So at that fifth place, if that's 5 or more, then we move up to a 3. If it's 4 or less, we keep it a 2. So two potholes, notice how we had 5 in that category out of 35 altogether. So 5 out of 35. So if we do that math, 5 divided by 35, that'll give us then this point 1428, 0.142, but do we keep the 8 or do we move it up? So that 5 would say move it on up to a 9, so 0.1429. Now we could do these all individually, but we could also see if we could do this within the framework of our statistics button here. So let's go to statistics. Let's go to edit to see our list. What I can do is go over here into L2, and what I can do is create a formula. So the formula would be I want L1 divided by 35. So what I can do is L1 is there. So if I hit second L1 and say, hey, divide L1 by 35, it should go down here and divide. Oops, I don't have my frequency yet. So back up here. L2, let's put our frequencies in first, and then we'll do that. So L2, we have to go 11, enter, 5, enter, 6, enter, 4, enter, 4, enter, 2, enter, 3. I actually have to have my frequencies in there first. So actually, if we move over to L3, L3 is going to be then these L2s divided by 35. So if I go here and go second, no, notice above 2, there's this L2. So if I hit number 2, it'll put an L2 here. And if I divide that by 35 and hit enter, it should generate my numbers for me. And it does take it out 4 decimal places. So notice how we do have a 0.3143, 0.1429. So instead of doing this math individually, I can actually put a formula in L3 that says, hey, I want the things in L2 divided by 35, and it did it for me. So feel free to watch that video again if you think you like that strategy. Otherwise, we'd be doing this one by one. So this would be 6 divided by 35, which turns into like what, 0.1714. Notice how it does round for me and everything. And then 4 out of 35, we do get. And again, if we look down here, you can actually see the numbers too. So if I go down to the 6, Notice how it does go 0.1714, and notice that that 2 would keep it a 4. So notice how if you actually highlight that number, you will see the whole number out there. So 4 out of 35 gave us this 0.1143. So if I move the decimal over two places, that'd be like around 11% would be that as a percentage. Notice how the next one would also be the ones with 5 potholes is also a 4 out of 35. So, so that's again 0.1143. And also again, we can look at this and see that 0.114, that notice how that 2, that 8 would tell me to move it up to a 3. So it is rounding correctly for me to 4 places. So then we had 2 out of 35 for 36. And so if I bring that one down, oops, come on down there, highlight it. So that's going to be 0.0571. And then for the 7, we had 3 out of 35. And notice how I let the statistics shortcut there do the math for me, so I didn't have to do every one of those little division problems. So 0.0857. So if you find that easier that way, you can do it that way, or you can just simply divide all these individually and then round to 4 places. But what's nice here is it actually did round those to 4 places. So that was a nice thing. Okay, so that's a little bit about relative frequency then. So we could again also create histograms with respect to relative frequencies as well, as opposed to frequencies. So I don't know if they're going to take us in that direction or not. So stay tuned.